I feel like there should be a rule in America. They should say you can hate immigrants all you want, but if you do, you don't get to eat their food. Yeah? That's a fair exchange for me. You hate immigrants, no immigrant food. And when I say no immigrant food, I mean no immigrant food, nothing. No Mexican food, no Caribbean food, no Dominican food, no Asian food, nothing. Only potatoes. And I'm not even saying like flavored potatoes, I'm just saying plain potatoes. No spice. Because no immigrants, no spice. Don't ever forget that. Both figuratively and literally, no spice. And I know some people would take that. I know there's some people right now who'd be like, well, you know what, Trevor, take your immigrants, take your spice, and get the hell out of here. You say that now. Because you've never lived a life without spice. But don't ever forget, a life without spice was so hard, that it made white people sail around the world to find it. And like, this wasn't regular sailing. This wasn't like a Disney cruise. These people sailed at a time when they believed if you went that way, you would fall off the edge of the earth and die. And still, some man out there was eating some white lady's cooking, and he was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm sailing that way. But what if you die? At least it's exciting. No immigrants, no spice.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can win cool prizes. And by prizes, I mean surprise. There's no prizes. It's a free YouTube video, you greedy. Just click the video, man. Why you want free things on free things?
Sorry, I know this is weird. This is my tea. I know it looks like a magic lamp, but it's not. It's my tea. I have to drink this as much as possible. So, it's true. This is sort of like my medicine. I have to drink it. Why? Because I lost my voice. But it wasn't like weekend lose your voice. It wasn't like, oh, what a great party. I lost the voice. No. Voice totally gone. What happened was, I was doing shows in New York, right? A whole lot of performances. And then one day, in the middle of a show, my voice disappeared. Out of nowhere. I was talking, and then, ESCOM. Now, at first I thought, okay, it's just a small thing. It's a small thing. It'll go away. But it didn't. It got worse every day. Every day, my voice got worse and worse. Finally, I ended in New York. Was coming back to South Africa through London. So while I was in London, I met a doctor there. Horrible doctor. Because his advice was, maybe you should just keep quiet, Trevor. Yeah? Maybe you should keep quiet. Keep quiet for a few days. And thereafter, what we should do is speak in a confidential voice. Yes? Speak in a confidential voice. That's what he told me to do, speak in a confidential voice. A confidential voice is basically you speaking very softly, very hum. So basically everywhere you go, you talk like this. You know what I mean? This is what you've got to do. Basically like white people in the office, you just got to find the guys. You're not gonna, what's that? No, nothing, we good. Yeah, see you guys at the bra. Don't want those guys. That's a confidential voice. Now the problem with the confidential voice is that you have to lean in when you speak to people, right? And then two things happen. One, I don't know why, but if you speak softly or if you whisper, people will whisper back to you. I don't know why this happens. I went into a shop. I was trying to buy a computer. This guy comes and says, hey, sir, how you doing? You good, man? Are you good? It's like, yes, I just need to buy some computers, please. You looking at some of those laptops over there? I said, yeah, just some of the MacBooks. Said, yeah, well, over here we got a great range of computers. And what are you doing? Why are you whispering? I'm not whispering. I don't know what you mean. You whispering? Why? It's like I'm injured and now you're limping. What the hell is going on here? The second weird thing that happened was because I was speaking like this, some people thought I was trying to have sex with them. Yeah, it was weird for me at first, and then I realized this actually was happening. The worst incident was when I was visiting friends of mine in Ennerdale, right? And I went to the chicken licking with my boys. We're hanging out. It's a normal day. We're just getting food, you know. We walk up to the counter, the woman's there. She's like, welcome to chicken licking, sir. Can I take your order, please? I said, hi. I would like four pieces of chicken, please. She's like, you want some chicken? I'm gonna give you the breasts and the thighs. Now she's chasing me down the street. Do you know how scared I was? Running away, holding my chicken, screaming for help in a confidential voice. Help me, help me, help me. So this clearly didn't help. I come back to South Africa and I meet a doctor here, a voice doctor, who happens to be one of the best in the world. And he does an exam on my voice, finds exactly what I have, hemorrhagic polyp, and he says we have to go in for surgery, which stresses me out. I go, what? We've got to go in for the surgery? He says, yeah, Trevor, that's not helping. Just stop doing that. So what do you mean? The doctor says, I don't want to have sex with you, so please stop doing that. So we're going in for surgery. Surgery. You know, surgery? How scared I was now? Surgery. Was stress. The worst thing about the surgery was the process around the surgery. I wasn't allowed to speak for the week before the surgery. And then after surgery, completely silent for 1 month. Right? Yeah, 1 month. No speaking, no whispering, no humming, no coughing or even sneezing. Nothing. You make no sound, otherwise you'll damage the voice after surgery. Yeah. Which seems easy for the first few days, because you think it's fun. You're like, oh, I'll just keep quiet. I'll just be a mime. Then it gets boring, and then it gets difficult. Because then you start meeting people that know you and they want to have conversations. Fans in the streets, friendly people, you know. White people were the best to meet, I won't lie. Because white people are just like, they're impatient. I like that, you know. Yeah, white people have no time for anything. I've seen this. White people don't like to wait. They're always in a hurry, always something to do. They just come up to me, they're like, hey, Trevor, right, the comedian. Oh, what, you're not talking? Oh, no voice. All right, cheers, bye. Gone. Out of my life, no stress. I loved it. It's great for me. Not so great for white people, though. That's why they pay so much in traffic fines. Yes. No, it's true. If you guys were just more patient, you wouldn't pay half as much, eh? Yeah. Because black people hardly pay anything. Hardly anything at all. Black people get to the traffic thing. You just relax the situation. That's what you do. You just relax everything. You just get there. You know, guy will come to your window. Baba, I'll seat belt. And you're like, seat belt. Yeah, no seat belt. Hey, seat belt. Yeah, let's license one. License. Hey, ndoda, let's license wena. Mfethu license. Seat belt, license. Mfethu license, seat belt. Hey wena, mfethu license. Eish, hamba ke, hamba. Just relax it. I've seen white people at roadblocks. They have no patience. They get angrier at the metro cop. They get so angry, it's like he did something wrong. You see them. They get stopped there. So they say, you were speeding. Oh, bloody hell, man. You guys are everywhere. Nobody can drive anymore in this place, man. Yes, like you guys, every bush, I don't know if it's a bush or a metro cop. What the hell is going on here, man? Yes, like you guys, bloody hell. They should start calling you the flora and fauna police, man. What the hell? Guys in the bloody boat. What are you going to do? Are you going to give me a ticket or something? No, I was just saying, yeah, bloody hell. I mean, just give me the bloody ticket. Just give it to, okay, you want the ticket? I'll give you a ticket now. Give you the damn ticket. Yeah, just give me the bloody ticket. Yeah, I'm going to, and your indicator's not working. 1,000. Just bring it down. Just relax. Just be a bit patient. White people have no patience. None. The complete opposite end of the spectrum, and the people I dreaded meeting when I had no voice, was Indians. No. Indians are the worst human beings you will ever meet if you're trying to have short conversations. Because I don't know what it is about Indians, but they're the most inquisitive people you will ever come across in your life. Question after question after question after. It's just like a thing in their culture. They've just got to ask questions. Questions. That's why there's no Indian GPS. You wouldn't get anywhere. You would not get anywhere. You'd be fighting with your car. Take me to Woolworths, please. Why you want to go to Woolworths here, boss? Just take me to Woolworths, damn it. Questions and questions. I met a group of Indian guys one day. It was a Saturday morning. These guys see me. They're very cool. You know, the guy's like, hey, Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah. Hey, what kind, brah? How you doing, man? Check this out, Fazil. Hey, Fazil, you know this, brah? Yeah, the comedian there. Hey, this, we got all your DVDs there, Trevor. Yeah, we bought them at Fordsburg, man. Hey, man, hey, brah, you tops, man. You tops, brah. Hey, you killing the charos there, man. Killing us there, brah. When you doing another show, man? What, you're not talking now? You lost your voice. What happened?
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can win cool prizes. And by prizes, I mean surprise. There's no prizes. It's a free YouTube video, you greedy. Just click the video, man. Why you want free things on free things?
You know, recently, because of my job on The Daily Show, I got invited to very prestigious events. You know, I've started getting invited to very, very fancy functions. Functions I would have never been invited to before. You know, recently I got invited to my uncle's wedding. Never knew me before this. And before that, I got invited to an event in New York called the Met Gala, right? A very prestigious event, yeah, where 500 people are gathered together, different personalities from all walks of life come together, you know, actors, singers, painters, musicians, everyone. And you spend a night dressed very nicely, looking at history and art. Just walk around, smiling, looking sophisticated. Yeah, and it's so exclusive that they tell you exactly what you're going to be wearing at the event, right? So they not dress code, exactly what you wear. So I got phoned. They said, Trevor, we'd like to invite you to the Met Gala. I was like, wow, okay. And they said, and you will be wearing a Ralph Lauren suit. And I was like, oh, okay, how much is Ralph Lauren? But they were like, no, we provide it for you. Ralph Lauren is going to be giving you the suit. And I was like, wow, I get to go to the Ralph Lauren store and pick up a suit for myself. They're like, no, the man, Ralph Lauren, is going to give you a suit. Do you know how mind-blowing that is? To meet the man whose name is on your clothing. That was just crazy. Like, that's never happened to me. I've never had the opportunity to meet the person whose name is on my clothing. I've never had the chance to say, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Price. Like, this is a new world for me. Here I am wearing his suit, invited to the Met Gala. And they tell you it's going to be a fun affair, you're going to have a great time. You get there, you eat with some people, you talk, you laugh, you walk the red carpet, which sounds like fun. You know, red carpets sound like fun. Walk down a carpet, people take pictures of you. Yeah, it's a lot more stress than it seems. Because you have to look perfect. I didn't know this. Like, you have to look perfect all the time. So, and they're so strict about it that they have a tent at the beginning of the red carpet that you don't see on TV. And in that tent, they prepare everybody. All the celebrities stand in the tent together, and then they make sure everyone's dress is perfect, everyone's hair, nothing is crumpled up, nothing, you know, and you stand there, and everyone's there together, which is really cool because you see all the celebrities like getting dressed basically, and you know everyone. They don't know you, but you know all of them. So like you're there, you're just looking at people, and people are very nice. You're like, hey, how are you? It's like, oh, hi, I'm Trevor. Trevor, nice to meet you. It's like, oh, Beyonce. You're like, yeah. Come on. Yeah, I know you from my bedroom wall. I know you. But you can't say that. You see, because you gotta look cool. You know, you gotta look like you belong. So now you're meeting people that you know, but you gotta act like you don't know them, which makes you look like a jackass. Because now I'm there like, Trevor, Beyonce? Beyonce, did I say it? Beyonce? Nice to meet you, Beyonce. Pleasure. Oh, and this, oh yeah, oh, JZ, nice to meet you, sir. Yes. You just look like an idiot. So I'm standing there getting ready with everyone. And then there's a guy who basically tells each person to walk out one at a time. Each celebrity, you walk out onto the red carpet. And there's 3 stations on the red carpet. When you walk out, the first section is American photographers. They take pictures for all of their magazines and newspapers. When they're done with you, you move down to the second section. That's the European photographers. They do the same thing for their magazines. And then you move to the last section, Asian photographers, Japan, China, that region. They take pictures, and then you walk into the event. So you walk to each one. They tell you to smile. Don't smile too much. Closes your eyes. Don't not smile. Makes you look angry. And pose with your body and your head. Pose body and head. Because some people make a mistake and then turn. Don't do that. Turn everything at the same time. everything. So I'm ready. I'm like, I can do this. So I'm in the tent with all the celebrities, and the guy's calling people out, lets them out one by one, because they don't want two people in the same shot. They don't want Beyonce there and then me in the background, like, So the guy's like, okay, we're ready, guys. Look, we're ready. Rihanna, let's get Rihanna out. Rihanna, come on, how are you? Good to see you. Come on through. And so Rihanna walks out, Anne Hathaway. Anne, how are you? Come on, Anne, good to see you. Go on, yeah. And then it's my turn. The guy's like, you. Yeah, you. Come on, let's go. Come on. I'm like, me. He's like, you ready? I was like, I'm ready. He's like, okay, go on. And I stepped out, and immediately when I got out, I realized I wasn't ready. I was not ready at all. I was not ready. And I've never seen that many flashes in my entire life. You step out, and it seems like every camera in the world is flashing at the same time. All of them screaming. It's like, it's just bright. It looks like someone threw a teaspoon in a microwave. It's going crazy. It's like, and everyone's screaming your name. Trevor, over here. Trevor. Now you're trying to find them. You look like a madman with voices in your head. You're Trevor. You're like, yeah, speak to me, Jesus. You're trying to fight. You don't know where the thing is coming from. You're like, come on, Trevor. And then one guy throws me off in the middle of it. He's like, Trevor, give us a pose. And I'm like, a pose? He's like, yeah, pose. I'm like, nah, I don't know how to pose. I've never thought of posing. No one told me. So now, like, I don't know what posing is. I've never practiced posing. And then the guy's pose. I'm like, I don't know what's a pose? He's like, come on, something sexy. I'm like, sexy? I don't even know what's it, because I've never practiced. And when I read magazines, I go straight to the women's section. Like, I don't look at the men. I don't see how they posing. I look at J-Lo and Kim Kardashian. So he's like, sexy. I'm like, sexy. So I just go to what I know. I'm just there, I was like, what the hell? Okay, stop that. Okay, that's good. Okay, go on. Good job. I was like, okay, that was stressful. So I moved down to the European section. I'm getting there. I'm still stressed. The bright lights have got my eyes going. The next guys are there, like, okay, Trevor, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. He's like, okay, all right, over here, Trevor. Some guys didn't know my name, though. I could hear that. Because one guy said Trevor, another guy said Trevor, then other guys were just like, Trevor. Yeah, but it's sort of like with a dog. Like, a dog doesn't really know its name. Like, if your dog's name's Spotty and you go, Foggy, it's like, huh? So I did the same thing. So, they were like, Trevor. I'm sure there was one guy who hated me and he was like, never! And I was like, I didn't care. I was in the mix. I was posing. I was sexy. I was doing my thing. I was loving it. And the guy's like, okay, good job. Go on. And I walked down and I went to the Asian section. And I stood there and all the photographers were ready. And then they just looked at me. It was... I don't think you guys like... It was the weirdest, because it was like flashing, snapping, flashing, screaming, flashing, snapping, screaming, flashing, snapping, silence. I got there, and they just looked at me. And then they looked at each other, and they looked back at me. They looked at me the way you look at food that's just arrived at your table, but no one has ordered it. That's the way they looked at me. Like they were waiting for the menu, like for the waiter to come and be like, sorry, we didn't order. Did you order? Who ordered? No, we didn't order this. We ordered celebrities. We don't know what that is. No, we don't know. We didn't order. That's how they're looking at. Now I'm standing there. I'm already posing because I've been taught to do. Now I'm there doing nothing's getting them. Even these ones, nothing's working. They're just looking at me. And then, I don't know why, like I panicked because I was embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie, I was embarrassed. No one's taking a picture. No one told me what to do if they don't take a picture. So instead of just walking away, I started making the sounds with my mouth. Just a defense mechanism, I guess. So I panicked, and then in the silence, I was just like, Trevor. And now they're just looking at me like, Trevor, good job. And I was like, Hey there, thanks for watching. Now, all I need you to do is click on that little circle on your screen. Yeah, that one. Oh, yeah, just like that. Hold on. Yeah, click. Nice. This is so amazing. So many of you here to see me, huh? I feel like Meghan Markle. This is dope. That was like the most amazing experience. I didn't know that the royal wedding was going to be this weekend. I didn't know it was going to be today. I planned my show long before them. I knew that I loved you before he knew. That's what I'm saying. I planned our big day long before they planned theirs. And then now everyone was like, oh, you're going to London? Are you going for the royal wedding? Are you here for the royal wedding? Are you here for the royal wedding? It's quite an event, I have to say. Like everything, everyone is watching everything about you.
all the stories people would talk about, because you're watching it all over the world. They're like, yes, Meghan Markle, yes, she isn't the typical royal, yes. She isn't the typical royal. What we mean is, yes, typical royal. She comes from an unconventional family. Yes, very different family. And I was like, yeah, man, she does. She comes from an unconventional family. Just like Harry, same thing. Come on. It's true, same thing. And they look good together. It was beautiful. Everyone was stressed out about it. Meghan Markle's family was in the tabloids, the Daily Mail, trying to destroy their lives. Man, when the Daily Mail comes after you, they do not mess around. They will find that one uncle in your family who's an alcoholic and shits his pants. Meet Trevor's Uncle Bobby. I didn't even know I had an Uncle Bobby. Well, now you do, and he shits his pants. And they'll always find a way to try and link it to you like it's your fault. They'll be like, Meghan Markle's uncle's son, Donnie, didn't pay his bills. She doesn't even know him. Doesn't matter. It shows that her family is unconventional. I'm not gonna lie, I was glad that it was the white side of Meghan families that was, I'm not gonna lie. We could not handle that as black people. That is the last thing we needed. Can you imagine if that was the black side of the family? Really? If Meghan's dad was on TV and he was like, oh no, I'm not coming to their wedding, no. Here we see Meghan's father posing for photo. You caught me again. Oh no, you have caught me. Black people would have never, because that's the hard thing about being a minority, whether you're black, whether you're whether you're Arabic, whatever it is. Like if you're a minority, if you have a certain skin tone, you know that every action you commit, like taints your whole, your family, it taints your everything. White people are individuals. That's white people. That's like the best thing in the world. That's what white privilege means to me. You're an individual. Let's look at Dave. He is excellent. He's a mass murderer. As Trevor, if I killed half of you tonight, they'd be like, those mixed breeds. I take everyone down with me. So much stress. So I was glad. Like her mom was there. She was all, fly, looking beautiful as well. The wedding went off without a hitch. And my favorite thing was how the British media talked about how black the event was. And I understand it. Here's the thing. This is like one of those things where I understand, like they want to talk about it because you're not used to having like a black wedding, right? But so like everyone today, I had like CNN contacted me and they're like, Trevor, would you mind speaking about the wedding and really all the black performers? There was a black cellist and there was a black choir and a black pastor. How do you feel? Black? I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. How do you respond to that question? How do you feel about, I don't know how I feel, it's a wedding. I don't know, what do you want me to say? That's a normal wedding. I wasn't watching that wedding being like, whoa, there's black. So much blackness, another one. It's a wedding, what do you want me to say? It's people. And also like, I feel like people go too far. Like, that's where you realize that there's not enough like diversity in your world, is if you think that made it a black wedding. Let me tell you something, a black cellist has canceled itself out. If you have a black person playing the cello, it's safe to say that you've canceled out the blackness of that event. That's the safest way to introduce blackness into your family. Daddy, I'm dating a black man. What? He plays the cello. All right, bring him in. Even white people think a cello is white. When you walk in with a cello, white people also like, well, what the hell is that, man? It's like it's a black wedding. It wasn't a black wedding, it was just a wedding. It was a beautiful, beautiful wedding. If it was a real black wedding, it wouldn't have ended. That's a real black wedding. It would never end. If it was a real black wedding, Prince's Nigerian uncle, he would have found like Harry's Nigerian uncle, he would have been in the carriage with them. I'm not paying for this carriage, I'm not riding in it, huh? You want to ride alone, Harry? You want to drive alone? Let me tell you something, huh? Let me tell you something. We are all getting in this carriage, eh? Every single one of us.
Adibo, get in the carriage. There's space for everybody. Don't be like that, Harry, huh? This is your family's day. This is not just your day, huh? When you were a little boy, who was there for you, huh? Who was there? That I was here, eh? I was there. Uncle Adebayo was there for you, Harry. Don't be like that, huh? Don't be like that. Huh? Where do you think you got your ball spot from, huh? Where do you think you got that from? That's a black wedding. This was just a wedding that included black people. That's all it was. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see all the celebrities showing up, all the famous people. They sang God Sing the... I never noticed that when they sing God Save the Queen doesn't sing. Which I understand. I mean, I feel like that would be a little bit weird. Like, she knows. Like, which is... Like, that's what I like about the Queen. I'm not gonna front. Like, she has a gangster vibe about her. Like, she's gotten to that point where she's like, yeah, I'm the Queen, I'm over it, let's keep it moving. She doesn't act like someone who's the Queen anymore. She's just like, I'm over it, I'm the Queen. And so everyone's standing like, God save our Jesus Christ, and she's like, yeah, I know, save me, I know. I'm not gonna sing it for myself. Can't be like, save me, oh, save me. She's like, I don't need you assholes to save me. I drive myself. It was such a beautiful day, every single piece of it. It was wonderful seeing the people in the streets. Everyone had a smile on their face. You know, everyone was happy because, like, Harry's popular. He's popular in Southern Africa. He's popular in the UK. He's got that cool vibe about him. You know, Meghan Markle as well. He inspired people. The only weird thing in the wedding for me was they had a black pastor, right, African pastor, and this was like, it was weird in a good way. He started giving a sermon, and he started talking about Martin Luther King, and then he started talking about slavery. And I could see in that moment, there were people in the audience who were like, God save the Queen, God save the Queen. Somebody stop this man, God save the Queen.
Man, this is fun. I'm loving this. No sports. People just come to the show fresh. I like that. I hate it when people come after sports. I have to hope that your team has won. It's just too much pressure on me, you know? Last week, the Springboks lost. People came to the show. They were grumpy. This was like a row of Afrikaans guys the whole time just looking at me like... It's like I was the ref. They're just sitting there in their Springbok tops, all of them. I mean, it could have been the team. I don't really know. I don't... No, because I don't know what they look like. I only know a few guys. Could have been them. They're super angry. Afrikaans people get angry when the Springboks lose, eh? Bloody ref. The ref robbed us. A stupid ref. Bloody guy giving out yellow cards like it's bloody Christmas here, man. You're like, what? Who gets yellow cards for Christmas? That's not the point. Shut up. You know what I mean. What a horrible Christmas there would be. Merry Christmas. Yellow card. 10 minutes. Go away. Go away. I'm not surprised when the guys get angry, you know? I'm not surprised when Afrikaans guys get angry because rugby itself is a very angry sport. It's just like, you know, I always get weirded out the way they tackle each other. They're crunching and they're busy punching and fighting. And, you know, it's weird for me when the ref stops the fights. That's the weirdest thing. Like, he'll stop it and go, hey, guys, come on. We don't need that violence in this sport. Come on. And they go, play the game. That's better. People walk off the field bleeding, bruised. One guy came back on with a bandage. Why would you come, like, you're bleeding, just sit, you bleed. Like, blood is your body's way of telling you to stop. That's what your body's saying. And you come back, what are you doing? Where's your mom? Just sit down and relax. No, I want to play rugby. You're not playing rugby, you're suffering rugby. That's what they should say. I suffer rugby every Saturday. Such a rough sport. And then you get these ministers that are like, we demand a quota system. We want more black players in the national rugby team. And black people are like, maybe you, Baba. Maybe you. Ngena. Me, I'm here. Quota system. It's tough. People get angry when the Springboks. The Springboks, they don't even need to lose a lot. One game and people get depressed, you know? They're like an A student that gets a B and people are worried, you know? Whereas when Bafana loses, no one really cares. Oh, Bafana, Bafana. We've become so complacent with that team. Like, anything is enough for us. Have you noticed that? Anything. Yeah, Bafana's like our special child. Like, you know? Chris there, like, hey, welcome home, Bafanas. Welcome. What happened? What happened? Oh, you got a D. Well done, boy. Well done, boy. Got a D, eh? Hey, at least you finished the test this time. Well done, Bafanas. Bafana, that's what they do. They lose or they draw. They don't win. No. Drawing is a win for us. Yes, we drew. They lose. Although they won their last qualifying match against Botswana. That was a good thing, yes. Bafana beat Botswana. Yes, the great footballing nation that is Botswana. Destroyed them. 2-1. They won't mess with us again. I'm glad Bafana won. I'm glad, you know. It was a weird match, though. We were in Durban when the match was being played. And it was a weird day because Bafana won, but then they weren't through yet because we needed Ethiopia to lose in order for them to go through, which is always weird. Bafana does that to us. You always have to support other teams and them. It's so much stress. Now you're there. Come on, Gabon. And so Bafana won, but the people in the stadium didn't know the other results. So they were happy. They were cheering. They thought we're going to Brazil. People were happy. The guy in the stadium, well done, Bafana. People were, yeah. Unfortunately, Ethiopia has qualified for the Brazil World Cup. It was the first time in my life I heard a depressed and confused vuvuzela, eh? Sounded like an animal dying in a corner somewhere. Because 1 minute it was confident, it was there like... But it's good. It's good that they won, you know? They needed to win. The only reason I want Bafana to win is because whenever Bafana loses, xenophobia goes up in South Africa. Yeah, this is a trend I've noticed. I've started seeing this. It even happens at the matches. Zambia played against Bafana, beat them, and then when the Zambian team was leaving the stadium, the Bafana fans started throwing stones at the Zambian bus. Yeah, throwing stones, thousands of fans. Could have hurt the people badly. I don't know why they weren't throwing at Bafana, because they didn't win. But they were throwing at the Zambians. Could have hurt them. Nobody was hurt though, luckily. Yeah, because it was Bafana fans, so the stones were just like... Just couldn't hit the targets. Xenophobia always goes up. Yeah. It's gotten so bad that foreigners have started supporting Bafana now. You go to the matches and you'll see giant guys in skinny Bafana shirts shouting, Jabalada! Jabala, can I go pass that ball for him? Pass that ball for that man. That's it, Rotino. Nigeria gonna take that ball. You cannot shoot that one. Why don't shoot for that man? Why don't shoot for him? You're like, yo, man, you're Nigerian. Support Nigeria. It's like, I support my life, huh? Don't worry about me. I support my life. And I can store that thing for you. Oh, kuna. It's tough. It's tough out there. But it's good times, though. It's good times. It was a good game to be at, the Bafana versus Botswana. A lot of people came out to the stadium to watch, you know. There were dignitaries, a lot of politicians. The ANC was out in full force. They were attending, you know. The DA didn't come. They don't do soccer. No, fine. Thank you. Yeah. But the ANC was there. Jacob Zuma was in the balcony waving at everybody, you know, because elections are coming up, so you're going to see him everywhere now. They're waving. Yeah, you're going to see him in the streets waving. You're going to see him at the rallies dancing. Yeah, he's going to be out shaking hands, kissing babies, mostly his babies, but still, vote for me. Because he knows he has to connect with the people. The ANC is having a tough time right now. This is one of the worst times in ANC history. Highest levels of corruption, lowest levels of service delivery. The ANC is just a shadow of its former self. Yeah. People in the ANC are disgusted by the ANC. They stand there like, ANC. No, man, enough, man, no. Come on, ANC. They say this while looking in the mirror. Come on, ANC. Can do bad. East Coast to come and do shows, right? And I don't connect to the Wi-Fi whenever I'm traveling. I just like to relax. And landed in Boston. And the first time I knew my life had changed was when someone walked past me on the plane as I was packing my laptop bag, and he just held me on the shoulder and he's like, "Trevor, you fight. You got this. Fight. Come on, you got this." It's like, did I look like I was struggling that much? Walking through the airport, people were giving me random thumbs ups of support. Like, "Yeah, come on, you got this. Yeah, hey, yeah." Except black people. Black people were like, "Hey, man." And then I turned on my phone. And honestly, I thought the thing was malfunctioning. Because it started vibrating even before the icons popped up. It was the Apple logo, and my phone was just like, like, what the hell? And then when I turned it on, it was just notifications everywhere. I was like, oh man, did Michael Jackson die again? What happened? What is going on? Because every app was going crazy. It was like iMessage, bling, 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 WhatsApp, blah, 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 Twitter, da, 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 Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Even Uber Eats was like, yo, you got some hot shit coming in, man. And I went to my messages, and everyone I've ever known in my life had texted me. From kindergarten teachers onwards. "Trevor, oh my God, are you okay? Trevor, where are you? What's happening? Did you see? Trevor, call me. Yo, don't call me. Call me. Trevor, what's happening? Trevor, did you see?" And then one person was like, "Oh my God, did you see what Trump said?" And I was like, what did Trump say? What did Trump say this time? Oh boy, let me check. What did Trump say? Me? Yeah, it hits different when you're in the crosshairs, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty crazy. I hosted The Daily Show for 7 years, and for 7 years, we covered news and politics in America, right? Because that's what the show is. And in that time, Donald Trump was in the news and politics all the time, and so I assumed at some point maybe he would say something about me or come after me. He didn't, which I was happy about. I was like, great. And then I left The Daily Show, and I relaxed like an idiot in a horror movie. And I went off and started hosting the Grammys, and I was like, this is delightful. It's a music show. So much more chill. Turns out the president watches the Grammys. Yeah, and he was not happy. Was not happy at all. No, he had written a lengthy post, giving me a Google review of my performance. And it wasn't like a flyby. It was like a full-on. Said, I'll read the full thing to you because I don't want to misquote anything. I'll read you. This is what I saw when I searched my name and his. It was a post on Truth Social from @RealDonaldTrump. Fun aside, Donald Trump owns Truth Social, so it's a little weird that he doesn't have @DonaldTrump. It's weird that somebody else got it and he was like, fine, real Donald Trump. Anyway, this is what the message read. The Grammy Awards are the worst! Every time I shout, it's because the word is in all caps. I'm trying to give you a feeling of what I was experiencing, all right? Virtually unwatchable. So some parts were good. CBS is lucky not to have this garbage litter their airwaves any longer. The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be. That's a bit bitchy. Like, I know what he was trying to do, but I don't think he did it correctly. You can't say the host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be. Because that is exactly who I may be. I understand he was trying to dismiss me, but you said my full name and my job title on the night. You can't be dismissive and be vague and specific at the same time. That's not how that works. Whoever he may be. I be nobody else. There is no may in this equation. That is exactly who I be. Trevor Noah, the host, Social Security number 457-6728135. Whoever he may be. No, that is me. It's weird. Like, you don't use that phrase when you know the person, whoever he may. You use that phrase when a stranger has ridden through your town and deflowered your daughter. That's when you use the phrase, I'm gonna kill that man, whoever he may be.
It's also funny to switch to feudal English in the middle of a message. Right? It's just like, whoever he may be, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of a South African. It's random. So he says, the host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel. Yo, poor Jimmy. I like Jimmy Kimmel. All right, and now because of me, he's catching strays. Like, he was at home minding his own business. Doesn't even work on Sundays. All of a sudden, his phone is like. I says, almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the Low Ratings Academy Awards. Then he goes on. Noah said, incorrectly, about me, that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong! Now, just so we're on the same page, I did not say Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. I did not say that. I made a joke at the Grammys, right? One of many random jokes that I made. This one came after Billie Eilish had just won Song of the Year. Right? And I said, congratulations, Billie Eilish, Song of the Year. That is an award that every artist wants, almost as much as Donald Trump wants Greenland. Because now that Jeffrey Epstein is gone, he needs a new island where he can go hang out with Bill Clinton. Okay? That's what I said. That's what I said. I did not say he was on the island. I said that he would like his own island. Clearly a joke as well, because he wouldn't go with Bill Clinton, right? And Greenland is a terrible substitute for Epstein Island. Completely different climate, completely different vibe, all right? So he says, and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong! I can't speak for Bill. I love how in the midst of him, like, calling me the ultimate liar, it's like, this guy's a liar! Except about the Bill part. We gotta check that out. I mean, you know how this guy is. But I have never been to Epstein Island, nor anywhere close. That's unnecessary. The proximity to Epstein Island is not what people are litigating. Right? It's your proximity to the man who owned Epstein Island. It's not the land that's an issue. You know, it's not like, where were you in the Caribbean? Epstein Island? No, Jamaica. Busted! No. Nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, have never been accused of being there. Really? I was the first. Before me, no one had ever mentioned Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I was the first. I am the reason his name is mentioned 5,000 times in those files. I set those dominoes into place, and I tipped them over. Yeah, not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, meow, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast. It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty, cha-ching. He put a $sign. I don't know what sound that is. Ask little George Slopadopoulos and others how that all worked out. Also, ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. President DJT. Yeah, that last line is something. Yeah, that is, get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. You know, if you're not trying to sound like a sexual deviant, this is not the line I would recommend. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with you, is what someone says right after they've strapped on the head dildo. So yeah, that was my Monday. And I'll be honest, I wasn't too worried. You know, Donald Trump watches TV regularly, gets angry about what he sees, posts about it, and oftentimes he moves on. I thought something else would come along, right? Because in many ways he's like a squirrel that watches TV.
Yeah, he'd be fully. Yeah, same size hands. So I was like, it'll move, it'll change. And it did. The next day, the big topic in the White House was the government shutdown. Right? There's a looming government shutdown. Because you know America's government is always on the edge of shutting down. I mean, at this point, I think you guys should switch to a family plan, right? Well, month-to-month thing is not working out. But they were interviewing the president about this. This is a serious topic. And in the middle of a conversation about the government shutdown, some journalist from the back of the room shouts out, "Mr. President, are you going to sue Trevor Noah for what he said at the Grammys?" I'm like, dick? I was gone. Yeah, I always wondered what happened to that kid who was like, "Oh, teacher, you forgot to give us the homework." Then Trump went back in. "Oh yeah, Trevor Noah said I was on Epstein. Gonna sue him. Total lightweight, loser." Yeah, and so now I might be getting sued by the President of the United States. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's a woo. I don't know if it's a ooh. No, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to feel because I don't know how this will play out. If it was a normal time, I'd be pretty confident. Donald Trump would sue me. A judge would throw it out for a multitude of reasons. Well, you know, First Amendment protections, free expression, jokes, satire, all of these things are covered in a regular time. Yeah, and it would be Donald Trump suing me, whatever. But now it's not Donald Trump. Now I'm being sued by the President of the United States, Donald Trump. And I don't know what that means. Do I appeal? We get to the Supreme Court. I walk in, he's waiting there for me. He's like, "Say hello to my little friends." I don't know. Nobody knows. Yeah, with him, there is no knowing. You know? Just ask Nicolas Maduro. Former president of Venezuela. My therapist told me that I am undateable. Yeah. In a session, and she just turned to me and she said, "Trevor, I think it is because you are undateable." I was like, I guess you also didn't like the Grammys. She told me this at the end of a session, which I feel like should be illegal. Right? Well, like therapists will drop a bomb on you at the end of a session and then just expect you to wait. It'll just be like, "Yeah, and that's why your father could never love you." And you're like, "What? Oh yeah, we've run out of time. I'll see you next time." No, next video. I don't want to wait a week. I want Netflix therapy, not HBO. I had to wait 2 weeks, and then in my next session, I was like, where were we? Let's go into it. And it was like, yeah, skip recap. Let's go. And she was like, "Well, you know, Trevor, I was thinking about, you know, you and relationships and what we're talking about my inability to be in a long-term relationship, and I was trying to understand why, and we're delving into it." And she said, "I think it's because you are undateable." And then she broke it down for me. She said, there are a few reasons. I think you work too much. I know you love your work, but you work too much, and that doesn't create a good balance in your life. She said, also, you travel too much. And being in the same place is crucial for building a solid relationship. But I'll be honest with you, those things are really just the side dish. Right? The main course and the real issue I have is, as my therapist put it, I have an inability to not say what is in my head. And she taught me that one of the keys to a long, successful relationship is knowing when to think and when to speak. Yeah. And I was like, I don't have that problem. I'm a good communicator. She's like, "No, Trevor, you oftentimes, you have thoughts and you immediately say them. You just have the thought and it comes out your mouth." And Trump was like, "Tell him, girl." I was like, I don't know. I don't think I have that as a problem. I think it's probably something. She's like, no, I've got notes. Hold on, I've got some notes. And she pulled out the notes and she's like, let's go through some examples. And there was one example that really, she was right. It happened with an ex-girlfriend of mine. It was the fracture that led to the end of the relationship, really. It wasn't the moment, but that fracture caused the outcome. We were getting ready for bed. It was an innocuous night, brushing our teeth, getting into the covers. And then before we turned off the lights, we started talking to each other and we got really cozy. You know those moments where you're with the person you love and you just find yourself in a rabbit hole of stories you've never told and feelings you've never shared, and you're laughing and you can feel you're falling more in love. And we're lying there on the pillows, looking at each other, and she's there staring at me. And all of a sudden she's like, hey, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah, of course. She's like, if you could change one thing about me, what would you change? Now, I have since learned that there is a correct answer to this question. And yes, one correct answer. Regardless of how unique your relationship is, if you want to win this game show question, the answer you give, if she says to you, if there's a woman in your life and she says, if there's one thing you could change about me, what would you change? The correct answer is nothing. Aha. Yes, I wish you were all there with me that night. Yes. Correct answer is nothing. You say, nothing, babe. I would change nothing about you because everything you are makes you perfect for me. If anything, can I be honest? I would change myself. I would change myself so that I would be better able to receive the love that you so freely give. That is what I would change. Hide from it. Like when I saw them doing this, I was like, man, I wish America did this with history. You know? Because you ever see how awkward it is speaking about history in America? It gets tense. Doesn't matter what history it is, it gets tense. You know, Columbus Day is one of those days. Every year in New York, there's a fight. Every year. Here in Detroit, there was a fight. There was a bust of Christopher Columbus that was around for 110 years. At some point, half of Detroit was like, we need to get rid of it. The other half was like, no, don't get rid of it. It was a huge fight. New York, same thing, every year. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, there was an interview on the news I saw once. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I found it funny. The reporter went up to some guy and was like, sir, what are you going to be doing for Indigenous Peoples Day? And he was like, let me tell you something, it's Columbus Day. I'm sick and tired of people coming in and changing the name. We're proud of that day. It's Christopher Columbus. It's Columbus Day. It's not going to change. In fact, how would you feel if somebody came along, took something that's been around for a long time and just decided to switch it and call it something else? Huh? How would you feel? I was like, but sir, isn't that the spirit of Columbus Day? I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Indigenous Peoples Day, the title. I don't like. I think it's a cop-out. I don't think it's specific enough. It's lazy. You know, Indigenous Peoples Day. Which Indigenous people? Where? How? Give me something, you know? You know what I liked about Columbus Day? Is that it was specific. Yeah. It was a specific, inspiring story of a man by the name Christopher Columbus, who believed against all odds that he could sail the wrong way around the world and get to India from the other side. Nobody believed in him. Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna do this. They were like, you can't do it, Chris. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. He's like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't
do it, Chris. And he raised money, he fought for years, he finally got the ships, and he sailed the wrong way around the world, and he didn't do it. Not only did he not land on the other side of India, he found himself in a place called the Caribbean, and he was like, this is India. And the people there were like, I don't know if you've been eating some of the herb we've been leaving about, but this is totally not India. And they're like, this is India and you guys are Indians. They're like, brother, we are not Indians. He's like, I know Indians when I don't see them. You're Indians. You're just on the far side, so you're West Indians. And he stuck with it. Christopher Columbus stuck with it his entire life. Other explorers would come to him, they'd be like, yo, Chris, I don't think you made it to India. He's like, it's India. They're like, I don't think it's India. He's like, it's India. He died refusing to acknowledge the possibility that he never made it to India. Not only that, my friends, he never set foot in America. Ever. Ever. And yet, he had a public holiday named after him in America. That, my friends, is the inspiring story of how white men can fail up. You know how much confidence you have to pull that off? Nobody else. That is white man confidence. Nobody else possesses that level of confidence. Go the wrong way, end up in the wrong place, call the wrong people the wrong name, and be like, I'm right, give me a holiday. No one else can do that. That is the level of confidence we should all aspire to. Is white man levels of confidence. Women couldn't pull that off. You think any woman should be like, I'm gonna sail the wrong way around the earth? They'd be like, burn her, she's a witch. You think people of color could have pulled that off? You think black people could pull that off? Wow, really? Black people just gonna sail around the world, wrong way around, get to the place they're not supposed to be, probably get arrested for trespassing. Be like, what are you doing here? Be like, man, my bad, man. I thought I was getting to India, man. My bad, man. I apologize. Man, I don't even know what I was thinking, man. You know what, man? We should have never messed with ships. It never turns out good, man. I apologize, man. This won't happen again. Why would you want to bury your history? There's so much joy, there's so much to learn. You know? It feels like America's moving in that direction. You know, it wants less and less of its history, wants less and less context. You look what's happening with textbooks. Places like Florida, they want to ban textbooks or cut out the parts of the textbooks that have slavery in the books. And now parents are fighting. They're like, oh, no, take the slavery out, it's making the kids feel bad. And other parents are like, keep the slavery in, it's teaching the children. And these parents are fighting back and forth. I'm like, why? What you don't need to be fighting about. No one should be fighting about this. Kids don't read textbooks. They watch TikTok. If you want to get to the kids, that's where you gotta be. There was slavery. Ships came. Yeah, they... I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact
that inflation is out of control. You don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control. People cannot afford to live anywhere. Your salaries have never kept up with inflation. Corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going. You know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly, who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out, they go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm gonna make it seem like this is a nationwide issue, and then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it right? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. Who can use which bathroom? Who cares? Who cares? I mean it, who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's gonna stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's gonna enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're gonna figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're gonna fight because you gotta know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in. Public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like, you be like, hey man, hey, you alright? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. And if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. How does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually. In fact, any man in here, I don't, like, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell. There is no stain. There is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady is pooing, never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee, it takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, right? Gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out,
washes her hand, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurants. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry. This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh? Yo, I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them and then what? Like he's gay and I'm just standing there and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away and I get hard and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later we get married and our families are joined and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Why? Public bathrooms. Now would be the perfect time for an alien invasion. There's no good time. I think we can all agree on that. But if I had to pick a time, I would say this is the best time. Yeah. Because if aliens invade, it's not going to be good for us. Right? We know we don't stand a chance. If they can travel through space-time, our weapons mean nothing. We're probably just going to annoy them with our guns. Pew, 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 pew. They're going to get here, and we've seen how it turns out, right? They fly in, right? They're going to blow everything up. We've watched Independence Day. We know how this happens, right? Yeah, and even if Will Smith helps, he can only slap like one at a time, you know? So what do? I think about it all the time. Genuine, I think about alien invasions all the time. It is my Roman Empire. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, I never used to think about this. Like when I lived in South Africa, this was nowhere in my mind. But in America, it's a real thing. Yeah, because when aliens come, this is where they're gonna come. Yeah, they're gonna fly here, they come straight to Washington, D.C., blow up the White House, and they go to other countries, they go to London, blow up Big Ben. You know what time it is? And they fly to other landmarks, blow everything up. I know, it's an issue. America first, I get it. Yeah. When I was in South Africa, this is something I never thought about, ever. Because I knew when aliens invade, they're gonna go, they're gonna blow up the world. But the one place they don't go is Africa. Yeah, you've seen the movies. They never invade Africa. I used to watch those movies all the time, and I'd wait. In the movie, the president would come and be like, citizens of Earth, aliens are invading our planet. Then you'd see the aliens invade. And then you'd be like, wait, I guess Africa's not on the planet? What is happening? They never invaded. Can you think of a single movie where they invaded Africa? No. What? District 9. No. And screw you for trying to mess up my special. Sitting up there in the balcony like a king. District 9, I tell you. Off with his head. No. District 9, it's a good attempt, but no. If you remember the plot of District 9, the aliens didn't invade Africa. The aliens crash landed in Africa. And then they spent the rest of the movie trying to escape. Because we don't mess around. Hollywood is so messed up. Yeah, it's just like, what's the worst thing that could happen to aliens? What if they were trapped in Africa? Aliens never invade, man. They don't invade Africa. They just never did. I used to think it was because they felt bad for us. Yeah, because as a kid, I used to love watching those movies. I still love watching them now. But as a kid, I loved those movies. Anything with aliens, I was there. And my mom, she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn at home, and we would sit on the couch together, and she'd watch all of those movies with me. Not, she hated them, but it said parental guidance, and she took that very seriously. Like one day she was walking past, and then it was like, we recommend parental guidance for this film, and she was like, I gotta watch this, and then she did it every movie going forward. I would have to run and call her sometimes. The show would just start randomly on TV, and they'd be like, parental, and I'd be like, Mom! Mom! And then she'd come in and I'd be like, what? I need you to guide me. Yeah, but then like 5 minutes in, I feel like I was guiding my parental, because she would sit there, and then the whole movie she'd be like, what's happening, Trevor? Who are they? Who are these people? Why are they doing this? What's going on here? I'd be like, Mom, I'm with you. I'm with you. I started this movie with you. So she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn, and we'd sit there, and then the movie would start. And the alien invasion, they'd be like, aliens are invading Earth. And the aliens would fly in, and you'd see them blowing everything up, and I'd be there with my popcorn like, first world problems. I genuinely thought, I was a little kid. If you ask me, like, how come you never see them in Africa? I was like, oh, because they feel bad. I thought the aliens felt bad for Africa. You know, there'd be the ship that would fly over each continent to blow it up. And then there'd be one over the African continent, 2 aliens in the cockpit, like, prepare to launch photon lasers. You get ready on your command. 3, 2, 1. Wait, hold on. I think we already did this continent. I think we've been here. Negative, we've never been here before. Blow it up. What am I blowing up? Look at this shit, something already happened. What the hell's going on here, dude? What am I supposed to blow up? Who did this? I don't know. Checking now. Beep, 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 beep. It says it was the British. Yeah! And current inmate of New York City. Yeah, he was president of Venezuela. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't. The story is even crazier. What happened was, and you can go check this yourself, what happened was, Nicolas Maduro was on TV giving an interview. And then he joked about how people are threatening him, alluding to Donald Trump. And he was like, man, I'll be fine, we'll be good. And then he played a song, no war, just peace. And then he started mocking Trump by doing Donald Trump's dance move. Like the move, singular. Right? Yeah, he did the move. So he came on and then he did the... You know the move, the double jerk off. And Trump saw that and he was like, go get that man. Go get that man. Military went, got Maduro, brought him in, put him in a jail. Not just any prison, by the way. They put him in a prison in Brooklyn. The same prison where they are housing Diddy. Imagine that. I thought I had problems. Nicolas Maduro, he's having, whew. Imagine the irony of his situation. He was witnessing America rolling out the most brutal deportation campaign ever. And in the midst of that, you're the one immigrant they import. Maduro's probably the only immigrant who supports ICE. Yeah, he used his one phone call for them. He's like, hello, ICE, come get me, man, come get me. Yeah. No, come on, I'll fly myself. Let's work together. Come on, we can do this, guys. We can do this. That's why I say you don't know how it's going to go. Nobody knows anymore. What a crazy twist of fate. Can you imagine? For decades, you ruled your empire with an iron fist. You terrorized people around you. You were violent, never held accountable. And now they've taken away all your oil and you're in the same prison as Nicolas Maduro. Ain't that a bitch? The one silver lining of this whole situation is that now would be the perfect time for an alien invasion. There's no good time. I think we can all agree on that. But if I had to pick a time, I would say this is the best time. Yeah. Because if aliens invade, it's not going to be good for us. Right? We know we don't stand a chance. If they can travel through space-time, our weapons mean nothing. We're probably just going to annoy them with our guns. Pew, 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 pew. They're going to get here, and we've seen how it turns out, right? They fly in, they're going to blow everything up. We've watched Independence Day. We know how this happens, right? Yeah, and even if Will Smith helps, he can only slap like one at a time, you know? So what do? I think about it all the time. Genuine. I think about alien invasions all the time. It is my Roman Empire. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, I never used to think about this. Like when I lived in South Africa, this was nowhere in my mind. But in America, it's a real thing. Yeah, because when aliens come, this is where they're gonna come. Yeah, they're gonna fly here. They come straight to Washington, D.C., blow up the White House. And they go to other countries, they go to London, blow up Big Ben. You know what time it is? And they fly to other landmarks, blow everything up. I know, it's an issue. America first, I get it. Yeah. When I was in South Africa, this is something I never thought about, ever. Because I knew when aliens invade, they're gonna blow up the world. But the one place they don't go is Africa. Yeah. You've seen the movies. They never invade Africa. I used to watch those movies all the time, and I'd wait. In the movie, the president would come and be like, citizens of Earth, aliens are invading our planet. Then you'd see the aliens invade. And then you'd be like, wait, I guess Africa's not on the planet? What is happening? They never invaded. Can you think of a single movie where they invaded Africa? District 9. No. What? District 9. No. And screw you for trying to mess up my special. Sitting up there in the balcony like a king. District 9, I tell you. Off with his head. No. District 9, it's a good attempt, but no. If you remember the plot of District 9, the aliens didn't invade Africa. The aliens crash landed in Africa. And then they spent the rest of the movie trying to escape. Because we don't mess around. Hollywood is so messed up.
And it's just like, what's the worst thing that could happen to aliens? What if they were trapped in Africa? Aliens never invade, man. They don't invade Africa. They just never did. I used to think it was because they felt bad for us. Yeah, because as a kid, I used to love watching those movies. I still love watching them now. But as a kid, I loved those movies. Anything with aliens, I was there. And my mom, she would give me she'd make me like a big bowl of popcorn at home, and we would sit on the couch together, and she'd watch all of those movies with me. Not, she hated them, but it said parental guidance, and she took that very seriously. Like one day she was walking past, and then it was like, we recommend parental guidance for this film, and she was like, I gotta watch this, and then she did it every movie going forward. I would have to run and call her sometimes. The show would just start randomly on TV, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, Mom! Mom! And then she'd come in and be like, what? I'd be like, I need you to guide me. Yeah, but then like 5 minutes in, I feel like I was guiding my parental, because she would sit there, and then the whole movie she'd be like, what's happening, Trevor? Who are they? Who are these people? Why are they doing this? What's going on here? I'd be like, Mom, I'm with you. I'm with you. I started this movie with you. So she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn, and we'd sit there, and then the movie would start, and the alien invasion, they'd be like, aliens are invading Earth. And the aliens would fly, and you'd see them blowing everything up, and I'd be there with my popcorn like, first world problems. I genuinely thought, I was a little kid. If you ask me, like, how come you never see them in Africa? I was like, oh, because they feel bad. I thought the aliens felt bad for Africa. You know, there'd be the ship that would fly over each continent to blow it up. And then there'd be one over the African continent, 2 aliens in the cockpit, like,
Prepare to launch photon lasers. You get ready on your command. 3, 2, 1. Wait, hold on. I think we already did this continent. I think we've been here. Negative, we've never been here before. Blow it up. What am I blowing up? Look at this shit, something already happened. What the hell's going on here, dude? What am I supposed to blow up? Who did this? I don't know, checking now. Beep, 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 beep. It says it was the British.
yeah! Take that, Great Britain. Hashtag never forget. Now, those alien movies, man, they made my day, but they terrified me. Because every time it didn't go well. The aliens fly in, they conquer the Earth. We win by luck, because it's a movie, but in real life, I don't know. It's not good. We have no chance. If aliens invade, we have no hope. Or at least we had no hope. Now there is. And it goes by the name Donald J. Trump. Whoever he may be. I don't like it, but I think it's the only way. Yeah. As soon as the alien invasion begins, we know how it starts. It's going to be that giant mothership that flies into our orbit, and that massive thing that blocks out the sun. They have a giant speaker under the ship that plays the music. It creates the ambiance. Yeah, there's one alien on the inside playing a little organ. He's just like, they're not ready for this one, B. Haha, yeah. And then they park the ship outside, and they send a little scout ship down to give us the bad news. The one that lands like, boom, and they come out, take me to your leader. All right, and they meet the leader, kill the leader, and then it's done. Yeah, they normally pick the most annoying alien for that job. Right? You got to be a specific type of entitled to just believe you can speak to the leader. Like, who are you? So on the alien ship, they'll normally pick the Karen alien. They'll be like, all right, chatting to each other like,
who are we gonna send down to this planet? Listen, Karen, she's the best for this. Karen, you're going down. Oh my God, why is it always me? I hate this so much. You guys are always sending me. I can't believe this. I want to speak to the manager. She's perfect.
They send that alien down and give us the bad news. With Trump, we have hope, but we have to act quick, people, real quick. As soon as they tell us
Aliens are here. NASA tells us they've reached our orbit. We act together as a planet. And what we need to do is we make Donald Trump king of the world. I see some of you are confused. The good news is he won't ask any questions. All right? We just go to the White House, we're like, Mr. Trump, you are now king of the world. And he'd be like, I knew it, yeah. And then we give him a little Burger King crown, and then we go and wait for the aliens outside. Aliens land, they come out, that one is just like, take me to your leader. And we're like, yes, welcome to Earth. Come on, come meet the leader. Come meet the leader. Come meet the leader. Take me now. Yeah, of course, we're gonna take you there. How you doing, by the way? You looking good? You on Ozempic? What's going on there? You looking great. Come on, come meet the leader. We get to the White House, and we're like, King Trump. This is the alien. Alien, this is King Trump.
Are you the ruler of this planet?
And be like, that's right. I'm the ruler of this planet. Planet Earth, or as I call her, Big Blue. Beautiful, beautiful blue, floating up in space. She's up there spinning around, spinning so fast. You know, they say we're spinning. I never felt it, but they say we're spinning. We're spinning around, folks, spinning so fast. And we're up there in space. We got a beautiful axis right through the middle of the planet. A big, beautiful, long axis. They don't make axes like that anymore. They really don't. And we got that axis, and it's tilted, you know, it's tilted. If I was in charge, I would have straightened it right out. But that's okay. Thanks, Obama. And it's up there, floating up in space, a beautiful planet, beautiful blue. We got a tiny moon. Did you see the moon? Beautiful moon. A beautiful moon. Looks like a nipple on a boob. That's what it looks like. Like one boob floating in space. Should be two. I always say two boobs, better than one. But one better than none. Can I say boobs? I said it, folks. I said boobs. And I'm the ruler of this planet. What do you want? What do you need? What can I do for you? They'd be like, beep, sorry, we didn't know it was already invaded. Boop, boop, beep, beep. Beep, boop, beep, beep. And that's how we survive. Be honest, we wouldn't be shocked if we found out he was an alien. I actually think we'd be relieved. You know, people are like, oh my God, that explains it. Yeah, if two aliens that looked exactly like him, like a mom and dad version of him came down, and they land on the planet, they're like, help us, we left our son here many decades ago. Where's our baby? We'd be like, come on. Can't get your baby. Because he is, man. He's out of this world. And now, we are living through history. Do you ever think about that? Like, we are all living through history. And not like history, like just time that passed. You know, like this, because there's that boring history, like, and then the people settled here. Yeah, whatever. I'm talking about like history where some shit happened. You know, when you read the books and you're like, yo, what was it like back then? Yeah, we're in the back then. That's all of us. My history's terrible now, I've realized. Because they record everything that is said at the White House. It is kept for posterity. All right? So that means in like 300 years, there'll be scholars studying old presidents and the White House, and they'll be like, what was it like 300 years ago? You're like, I don't know, but the Grammys host was terrible. Yes, a total loser, apparently. And a bunny was performing at the Super Bowl. Also terrible. Absolutely terrible. What a time. You know, the weird thing about living through history is it's so much less predictable when you are the one doing it. Like, when you read history or when we're taught history, it is often presented as if it was inevitable. You read the stories, you assume that is how they would have always ended because that's how they ended.
Like if I asked most people, do you think the Nazis will always lose the war? They'd be like, yeah, of course the Nazis would always lose the war. And yet at the time, the people who were fighting the war thought that the Nazis were going to win. There was a moment when it seemed like it was in their favor. When you're in history, it's a completely different gambit. Like whenever I'm in Washington, D.C., I like to go and visit the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And if you've never been, let me tell you, it is one of the most profound experiences you will ever have in your life. It is a museum unlike any other I've ever been to, for a few reasons. You know, one is it is as complete a telling as is possible of Black history in America, which is history. But it's a history that's often not told, right? And you go to this building, and unlike other museums, you can't just choose your own adventure. You know, normally you walk in a museum and then it's like, what do you want to do, dinosaurs or space? You pick. There, they curate your moving through time. And so when you get to the museum, you start at the very beginning of Black people in America, and then it moves all the way through to the present day, right? And so it starts underground, literally, you go underground, and then it starts with slavery, spoiler alert. And then they move you through time, and then you get to the end, and then there's Oprah. That museum truly, like, it'll make you ask every question of yourself. I was there on my most recent trip, and I was walking through the beginning level, and it's underground, and it's chattel slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, and then the Underground Railroad. And so it's an emotional ride as well. You know, it's painful, it's oppression, and then there's this moment where you can see people rising up and fighting for what they believe in, overcoming. And because it's so engaging, you see people experiencing it in a different way. There were these two kids next to me, maybe 14 years old, and they were having a conversation that I was eavesdropping on, and the one turns to the other one, he's like, yo, man, he's like, what would you have done if you was around back then, man? He's like, would you have been a slave? He's like, yeah, well, yo, what? He's like, nah, they would have had the wrong one, man. They would have had the wrong one. Yo, I would have cooked their ass, man. You trying to make me a slave? I would have cooked their ass. He's like, nah, you capping. He's like, nah, for real, I would have cooked their ass. I would have cooked their ass. And they're laughing and they're engaging in it. And I was like, either this is the delusion of youth, which is necessary for a revolution, or that's who they would be. Either way, it didn't matter. What I loved is that they were asking the question, who will you be when history calls? Because of them, I found myself asking the question, and honestly, I think I need to work on my self-esteem, because I came up with nothing as heroic. Like if you asked me, Trevor, what would you do during slavery? I'll be like, I would have worked really hard and seen what happened. I don't think I would have been a hero. I don't have it. I'm impressed by people who say those things. If I was around back then, if I was in the store when they robbed it, I would have done. I don't have that in me. I don't. Like, I would be in the field and I'd just be working hard and I'd be minding my own business, you know, and the guy on the horse would come and be like, you better work hard, boy, you better pick that goddamn cotton. I'd be like, yes, master, that's a picking this cotton, master. That's a picking away, master. Oh, but as soon as he rides away, I'd light his ass up. I would roast him to bits. I'd be like, that dumb ass. Is he back? No. But I don't think I would have been a hero. Yeah, like a real hero would have showed up. Like Harriet Tubman would show up. She'd be like, psst, yo, Trev. Oh, hi, Harriet. How you doing? I'm doing shit. Oh no, what happened? Slavery happened. What you mean, what happened, boy? You stupid or something? Oh yeah, of course, I shouldn't have. Anyway, what's going on, Harriet? I just came to let you know that we're leaving tonight. Who's we? All of us, Trevor. We're getting out of here. We're going, baby. Oh yeah, Harriet, the guy on the horse says we shouldn't leave. He really doesn't like it when we leave. I think he has like separation anxiety or something. He should see someone about that. But he said, I don't give a shit what he said. We're getting out of here. What are you saying? You gonna stay? Yeah, I think I'll stay and just, see how it goes. See how it goes? What's wrong with you?
You're not coming? No, I'm not gonna come. I can't believe you. You light skins is all the same. What? Yeah. You scared, ain't you? You a scared little bitch. I am a bitch, Harriet. I cannot lie. I'm a scared little bitch. Look at you, scared little bitch. You almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel. Sorry, sometimes I do jokes just for me. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Everyone was asking themselves the question. Everyone. One of the most unique encounters I experienced happened when there was a group of white people who were standing at the exhibit, and they were very, very liberal white people, right? Like very liberal white, like very, very liberal white people. Like they were feeling it more than the black people there. They were. Yeah, to show how much they were feeling it, there was a moment where some of the black people who were walking around the exhibit, right? Because there's black people walking around the exhibit and there's white people there, because everyone can go, right? And so the black people who were there were living what I would consider the full black experience, which is being a human being. So some people were crying, and then a moment later they were talking to their friends, sharing stories, recounting, laughing, etc. And one person laughed, was like talking to their friend, like, ha 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 ha, yeah. And then the woman, there was a white woman here, who was like the leader of the crew, she turned at that laugh, she was like, ha ha, and she was like, shh. That's how liberal they were. And just when I thought she couldn't top that, she was looking at a photograph, one of the first pictures that's ever really been taken. And it was a picture of a white man on a plantation, standing there, smiling, standing in a field, just like smiling in the picture. And this woman is standing looking at the picture, and she's like, if I was there when that was happening, I swear to God, if I was there when that was happening, I would have never smiled. You know when a sentence has the exact conclusion you did not predict? Like this was, I thought she was going, if I was there, I would have fought, I would have freed, I would have, no. She's like, I would have had slaves, but I wouldn't have enjoyed it. Just be crying, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, dust behind the couch as well, but I'm so sorry. I can't. It was really, really something. You know, you moved through that level there for more than an hour. At the end of it, I was so taken by the question that I was asking myself, who will you be when history calls, that I texted one of my best friends, David Meyer. He's actually the first American I ever became friends with. He came to South Africa by chance 20 years ago, was on like a school project. We met by chance, became friends by chance, and then he convinced me to come to America and do comedy, which I had never planned to do. The rest is history. So we've been friends since that day, right? And yeah, it's a beautiful story. And also our lives are so different. He's this 6'5", lanky white boy from North Carolina, right? Sweetest guy ever, super sincere. And because of that, I love playing pranks on him. And as we left that exhibit, I texted him and I was like, yo, Dave, I need to ask you a favor. And he responded, he's like, yo, dude, what's up? And I said, if slavery comes back, do you promise to have me as one of your slaves and treat me really well? And then he responded, he was like, dude, what? And I said, do you promise to have me as your slave and treat me very well? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, yes or no? And then I just saw the little dots and it was like typing.
typing, 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 and then he called me. I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, dude, what are you even talking about, man? What is happening? What do you mean slavery? I was like, I just want to know from you, Dave. If slavery comes back, do you promise to have me as one of your slaves and treat me really well? He's like, dude, no. What do you mean? Slavery is not coming back. Slavery is not coming back. I was like, that's what they said about Ghostbusters. Just answer the question. Will you or will you not have me as one of you? He's like, no, dude, no. I would never have you as one of my slaves. I would never own